Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Monday night D&D team training. Great to have everyone here tonight. Tonight's webinar is Life is Better with Big Dreams. And Dale is going to share an awesome email that he received this week. Once again, welcome. We are so happy you are here. I know that we have several people, this is their first webinar. We are so excited to have you here as well as our regulars. Just wanted to remind everyone about the upcoming event in Las Vegas. It has been changed from a pre-launch convention to a leadership retreat due to the limited meeting capacity in Vegas right now. It's going to be limited to 250 people. Last I heard, there were less than 50 tickets left, but I know that we're going to have a great crowd there. If you do plan on being there, if you could just send us an email at APLGO@gmail.com. And I think the tickets are still available at APLGORISE.com. And also, we just found out this week that they have asked Dale to speak at the leadership event. So we're very excited about that. But I just wanted to remind you, those of you that have been at convention with us before know that, you just never know what Dale's going to do on stage, but he always likes for you to pull out your reasons. So if you have this form, if you don't have it, you can get it at D&D Team Training. If you're going to be in Vegas, make sure you have this in your purse or in your wallet so that on cue you can pull it out and show the crowd that you have your reasons. So we're very excited to see all of you there in Vegas. Looking forward to it. Also, last week we did announce that we had tweaked the North America launch team intro and outro videos. And if you would like the new videos on your replicated website, you can send an email to mlmsuccesspodcast@gmail.com, and Scott will take care of those. Those are for the ones that are the truly replicated sites that are a replicated site of ours. However, if you do have your own self-hosted page where you purchased your own hosting with your own domain name, Scott has sent you an email with a short video. It's super easy on how to change it. It says it'll be available soon, but I checked with him before, and he actually emailed each one of you if you had requested that. So if you would still like it, you can still get it. mlmsuccesspodcast@gmail.com. Whether you have a replicated or a self-hosted page, Scott can help you. Dale just wanted me to thank you all. He truly appreciates all the email and feedback that he received from last week's webinar. Many of you are going through personal family situations. It's last year was truly a rough year. And we both greatly appreciate the input and the feedback, and really Dale depends upon the feedback. He's going to be asking you for more feedback tonight, and just again, run when you can run. So he is here ready to bring you a great webinar. Hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will speak to you next week.
Good evening, everyone. Glad you're with us tonight. It's going to be a little bit different than normal. I got an email yesterday that blew my mind. It just blew my mind. And I thought, how can I communicate this? And how can I help people feel it the way it affected me? And hopefully we're going to get to that point tonight. I sincerely do appreciate it and appreciate you being here. And tonight, I am going to give you, in a nutshell, what it takes for you to go from wherever you are to wherever you want to go in network marketing. I'm going to do it real quick. And the challenge is a lot of times people think, oh yeah, I've heard that before. Oh yeah, Dale, I've heard that before. Knowing it is not is not the issue. It's being able to take that and get it from your head to your heart and live it every single day. And that's what moves people. That's what moves organizations. That's the key to it. Knowledge without action leads to self-delusion. And the one thing that I've realized in the last 5, 10 years is, in general, human beings, we forget how to dream. We forget how to dream. A lot of people get involved in network marketing because they want to make more money. They want to do better. They have some goals. They have some reasons. And I think about myself, and I get so frustrated with myself because all my life I was a dreamer. Then I went through some rough teenage years. When I was 20, I found this profession, and from the age 20 to age 40, I lived every day with big dreams, high expectations. When I was 40, my reality had so far surpassed my wildest expectations. I didn't know how to handle a lot of people. It was like my mind was just blown. And it's like uh, I got out of the industry, and I've coasted. I've had an awesome time. I've learned so much. I've met so many great people. I've been able to travel all over the world because I can do network marketing and teach it in my sleep. I mean, it's all I know. I don't know much about anything else. But I can tell you, from the time I was 20 or 40, for about 15 years, I coasted. And about 5 years ago, I started the podcast with the hopes of being able to give back to the profession, because I saw it had gotten so far off track. And that started my rebirth, for lack of a better way to put it. It started it. And when I saw APLGO, something started to flicker. I mean, literally a few days after we got started, I mean, I was down in my kitchen just bawling like a baby. And Dawn she didn't know what was going on. It was like he's having some kind of nervous breakdown. I don't know. Do I need to take him to urgent care? I mean, she was just, I mean, she knows how I am, but she'd never seen me this way about a business. She knows how I love business. But she never had seen the emotion of it. And it's just, it, every week I feel different. And I am so excited about the journey that this group is on, because I know where it's going. I know the culture. I know the people. A lot of people, a lot of you I've never met, but I am so excited about what's going to happen the next 5 years. And this is the determining factor right here. 95% of the people have lost their ability to dream. So many people are trying to just, I hope next year's better, but they don't think big. They think too small. And, Benjamin Franklin said it best. Many people die at age 25, but they don't bury them to their age 65. And see, I understand this because by the time we're 12 years old, parents, society, authority figures have created our expectations of what we're capable of. I grew up in a little small town, 400 population, not a stoplight in the town, a lot of low-level redneck entrepreneurs around me, which I loved. Great community of people. It sincerely was Mayberry. But my expectations, I mean, when I grew up, it was like, go to school. If you decide you want to go to college and start saving money when you're a teenager, go to college, get a good education, go to work for a good company. I mean, that was the plan for everybody. Well, we all know today that plan has been totally disrupted. I mean, that's been proven to be not the path. But my limitations and my programming, I had have the greatest parents in the world, an awesome family. Uh, I was always the black sheep, and I think it was just something in my DNA. I'm not sure, but they still, I mean, they support all the sports activities, everything. I had a great environment. Some people don't. Some people have a horrific environment. Some people are discouraged constantly and badgered and go through all kinds of stuff as children. I mean, it's been amazing the people that we've talked to. But what my point being, regardless, by the time we're 12, we kind of have our life figured out, what we think we're going to do. Maybe not real consciously, but this path has been kind of set. And again, it's decided by the time we're 12, and then we reinforce that throughout our teenage years or whatever. We just kind of reinforce the path that's around us, the people that are around us. So parents, society, and authority figures. Now, what people have to eventually come to grips with is whatever that programming is, whatever those expectations are, if they're not what you really want, you don't have to stay that way. Your past does not equal your future unless you decide not to develop new mindsets and new expectations for your life. It's in your hands. Whatever you're thinking about and hoping for and dreaming for in the next 5 years with the APLGO opportunity, whatever that dream is. And I can tell you, for 95% of you, it's too small. But whatever it is, it's a preview of whatever you're dreaming about today is a preview of your life's coming attractions. And I don't care what your background is. I don't care what your age is. I don't care what your experience is. None of that matters. Your past does not equal your future unless you decide for it to. And there's been so many people that get involved with this company at this time in history, and they cannot see that this is different than anything they've ever seen or been involved with. So they approach it as they have always approached it. And more than likely, there's not a lot of dreaming or big picture or big thinking involved in this process. And again, I don't care how old you are. I don't care if other people have done it. In your situation, you can do it. You know, Walt Disney, he didn't even start Disneyland until he was, I think he was 54 years old, before Disneyland was ever started. My buddy, Kentucky, Colonel Sanders, down in Corbin, Kentucky, had a little restaurant down there. He gets his first Social Security check. He says, "This is a joke. How they expect me to live on this?" He packed up his car, put a lean-to tent in the back, and he said, "I'm going to go sell my chicken recipe to truck stop owners." And he just started traveling. And well, the rest is history. So it doesn't matter. There's too many examples. But this concept of being able to dream, and again, for 15, 20 years of my life, I had zero dreams. When I met Dawn, I told her, "Look, I've already lived 5 lifetimes." I mean, my expectations of what was capable coming out of little town in Kentucky, and what I've experienced, and the people I've met, and the roads I've traveled, I want to make good memories, and I'm going to continue. I'm a personal development, education junkie. I'm not going to change, but I have no expectations of the future because I've already lived and experienced things that I never thought would have been possible. So she's, I mean, and I told her, and we've talked about it, because I'm not at the same, she's never seen me like this. And I'm at a different place right now. And and she's seeing it daily. So here's what I know. Here's what I know. This is what I'll take to my grave. It's solid truth. When I was 20 years old and about ready to get fired from IBM, because I hated being there every day and I couldn't get there on time. And they said, Dale, you got one last chance. We're sending you to this employee awareness class, and you got to get your act together or you're going to be fired. So they sent me down in the basement with a bunch of other troublemakers. And the first day, we got to watch an hour and a half film strip about IBM and Tom Watson and how thankful we should be to be working for such a great company with a great history and great story. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to make it through this. And then they have some manager come in, you know, one after another, talked about their career at IBM. And finally we got to lunch, and it seemed like I'd been there a week. And I got to go to lunch. So we got to lunch, came back, and I'm sitting down, and the instructor guy pulls out this big boom box, and he sets it on the desk, and he gets a tape, series of tapes, and he reaches in one and he puts it in this boom box. He said, we're going to listen every day. We're going to listen to this gentleman for an hour after lunch every day. And he pushes play. And I hear this guy say, you are where you are in your life because of what's gone into your mind. And the only way to change where you are, the only way is to change what goes into your mind. And it just hit me at an emotional level. Like I didn't plan this, but it's like, here's the actual collector album of that. That's Zig right there, Zig Ziglar. I'm going to frame this, but it touched me. And it's solid truth. Your friends, your relatives, everybody you know, everybody you've ever known, everybody you will ever meet, they're where they are because of what's gone into their mind. And the only way to change is to change what goes into your mind. So that started me on this personal development journey. And then it was like, Think and Grow Rich. I heard somewhere that Think and Grow Rich, more millionaires give that book credit other than the Bible. They give the Think and Grow Rich more credit than any other book. And I'm thinking, I better get a copy of it. And I got a copy of it. And I can remember I was so excited. And I sat down and I read about a chapter of it. And it was so confusing. And I tossed it away. And then a few months later, somebody else would be talking about Think and Grow Rich. So I grabbed it again. And eventually I get through it. And for the last 20 years, I read it every summer. Because, ladies and gentlemen, what if it's true? What if it's true that what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve? Y'all think I've got this planned. I don't, but there it is. There it is. It's how I live. It's what I believe because it's based upon wisdom. It's based upon wisdom of the ages truth. Now, we can all go through life and accept it or not accept it. That's up to us. But truth is truth. You know, Shakespeare said, our doubts are traitors. Our doubts are traitors that make us lose the good we oft might win because we fear to attempt. We fear to take action. Proverbs says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I could sit here for hours and share with you quote after quote from thought leaders throughout history who all say the same thing. We become what we think about. We get what we expect. And know your situation's not different. I've shared this many times. I heard Jim Rohn say 1,000 times, everyone should become a millionaire, not for the person, not for the money, but for the person they will become in the process. I heard him say it 1,000 times. And then one day, I don't know why, but it went from my head to my heart. It's like I got it. It's for the person you will become. It's for the personal development. It's for the growth that will have to happen. You're going to have to dream. You're going to have to stretch. And then, you know, Jim also says formal education makes you a living. But if you become self-educated, you can create a fortune. Here's what I know. Here's what I know. There's a magic in learning, and you have to learn how to do this because it's not normal, but learning to think big. And if you can learn to think big, and if you develop a work ethic, activity, action to back it up, the sky's the limit. You have zero competition in the world, in your community, and in APLGO. But you've got to be able to think big. You've got to see it big. I love this book by Dr. Schwartz. And I mean, truth is truth. How many times do you have to see the same thing over and over before just like, you know what, maybe these people are right. Maybe they're right. Maybe I should pick me up one of those books. You know, Proverbs says, in all toil there is profit, but mere talk tends only to poverty. Again, knowledge without action leads to self-delusion. So I know that most people's path is formed by the time they're 12 years old. You know, at the end of every podcast we have ever done at MLM Success, the last thing we say, work harder on yourself than you do on your business. Work harder on yourself than you do on your business, and we'll be back next week. Every podcast. So I think about, you know, because people are going to ask, Dale, what book should I start? These are the two I would start with. I also like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But here's the thing. This is my first, I want some input here. I cannot do this, but I think it's something that we should think about as a group, because back in the day, in my NSA days, I used to buy this book by the case, The Magic of Thinking Big. And back then I was doing group interviews. So people were sending in resumes, and I would schedule a group interview of maybe 8 or 10 people. And I was traveling. I would do them in Owensboro, Kentucky, Huntington, West Virginia. And I had somebody that would call and they'd say, Dale, Mr. Calvert's going to be in Huntington, West Virginia on Thursday. He has an opening at 10 o'clock in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, or 4 in the afternoon, which would work best for you. And if they said 4, then she would book 8 to 10 people at 4. I'd have 8 to 10 people at 11, 8 to 10 people at 1. And those days I would go in and we called it a first look, second look, and it was group interviews. At the end, they would fill out an application, and I did not try to sponsor everybody. And I had some people that would call on ads and just were negative, and or I would meet them, and it's like their mindset is so far down the victim road. They don't need to be doing this business right now. And I cannot tell you how many of those books I gave out or mailed to people because I didn't want them on my team, you know. And I would tell people, read this book, and if it makes sense, call me back. I did that for 5 years. In 5 years, one person ever did that. One person ever called me back. So that's where we are. That's what this business is about. It's a personal development program with a compensation plan attached. That's what this business is. Now, what I'm thinking about is should we do a CMG book club? And I'm just putting this out there. You guys can give me kind of any input that you want. I've never been in a book club. I can't imagine being in a book club, but I've read more books than anybody that I've ever known. But I'm not the facilitator of a book club. I can promise you that. But I also know that we have people that are going to enter this team that the best thing they can do is start down this path of personal growth, personal development, personal responsibility. And a great place to do that is reading The Magic of Thinking Big or some of these other books. So if that's something that is of interest to you, I am open to it. And honestly, I can't even believe I'm saying it, but I got to get better. I've got to expand. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I wanted to put that out there. I think I know we have people on this team that would be phenomenal at that. And if that's you, send me an email. Let me keep going. Here's what I've also really come to grips with since APLGO. There's a lot of people that have been around network marketing 5, 8, 3, 12 years. They think they should be further along than they are. They know that they know more about personal development, team building, people than all their friends and relatives. And there is a real entitlement. There is a real false pride with a lot of people, and also in leadership in network marketing companies. So I'm aware of that. I have none of it. I have none of it. You know, I don't want false pride. I want big dreams. So if we sit back and we just take a breath and we think, okay, what are the options people have? Because the mindsets that we've lived in and the decisions we've made over the last 5 years, that's what we're living today. What we live today is the decisions we made 5 years ago. And I love the question, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where will you be in 5 years if you keep doing what you're doing? And when we're out there talking to people, a lot of good part-time people in network marketing that want to get beyond their 9 to 5, and they're on that corporate rat race, they're fighting traffic. And, you know, 74% of the American population say that they don't like their job. And when we're talking to them and that false pride enters the conversation on their part, we have to be willing. I'll be right back. When that false pride enters in the conversation, you got to love people sometimes enough to pull out your 2x4. You just got to whack them, you know, one time and say, wait, whoa, don't tell me that. I don't believe it. And I know you don't. Look, if this is not for you, fine. But where are you going to be in 5 years if you stay in that job you've been complaining to me about for the last 11 years? You owe it to yourself, not to me, but to yourself, to understand what you're saying no to. And as a team, we've got to get a little bit more that way. We just have to, because we have something. Well, you know, my sister tried Melaleuca and then she tried something else, and I just don't. And you accept that. You can't accept that. This is not Melaleuca. My gracious, they've been around 30 years. So you've got to be willing when you're communicating to people to love them enough to tell them what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. So there's 7 key areas of life. I'm not going to go through all those, but all the personal development in the world is not going to help the person who's on a dead end hamster wheel in corporate America, or a network marketer, even once they find the right path. If that network marketer is not willing to change and create new productive habits, the habits you enter the profession with will not take you where you want to go. They will not. New habits are required. New mindsets must be developed. Network marketing is the #1 opportunity in the world for average people with above average desire. And if y'all don't know, that's my little Chevette in my 600 square foot home that I started this profession in. I had nothing. I was the most least likely to succeed in network marketing, but I had a dream, and I knew. See, I knew that I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I didn't know what I was doing. I knew that I was where I was in my life at that point because of what had gone into my mind. And I was in the process of changing what went into my mind. So if we all stop back, I said, guys, make a list real quick of what it takes to become successful in network marketing or in any business. I mean, and then the real interesting thing, obviously you have to have talent. What I love about network marketing and the talent that has to be involved in network marketing is anybody can develop the talent. It's not like Michael Jordan talent. It's not like Michael Jordan talent. It doesn't have to be God-given talent, something in your DNA. We're talking about skill set development. We're talking about repetition, monotonous over and over and over. Just the same thing over and over and over. We're talking about sequential, systematic training. Hard work, absolutely. That's a given. People want to accomplish as much as they possibly can with as little work as possible. It's not reality. And some people have a stronger work ethic than others. They do. Some people are born and they're hustlers. They work hard. Some people don't have that much of a work ethic. Some people just kind of like to chill. But see, you're going to have to work, and work ethic can be developed if you can get control of your time management. Time management is the best kept secret of the rich. And if you're part-time, you have to schedule time to do your business. You cannot do it when the feeling strikes you or when it's comfortable. And most people don't have a problem doing their business. They just don't know what to do. I don't know how many people in the last 90 days have told me, look, the only training I ever got was they told me to post on social media 5 times a day. That's the only training I ever got. It's maddening. It's crazy. You're going to have to expand your comfort zone. You got to expand it. You guys got to keep expanding it. It's just the way it is. If it's comfortable, if you're comfortable, you're not growing as a human being. Commitment. You have to develop your own 4 beliefs. I'm not going to recover them tonight, but the bottom line is the value that you put into the marketplace determines your long-term income. And I don't care what kind of business you're in. The value you provide to the market that you serve determines your long-term income. So when you're in the marketplace and you're speaking with people, I don't care if I upset them. As long as I am speaking truth with love in my heart for those people. I don't mind using this on a prospect. I don't, because if they don't do it, I don't want them to get off the phone with their spouse and they say, well, who is that? Oh, some guy that was doing something like Melaleuca and all that stuff. They aren't going to say that about me. They're going to know before we get off the phone, they don't have a clue what they're talking about. And if that's what you really think that this is, and you're really looking right now, you need to wake up. Because see, here's what we do. We put something out there, I'm not interested. We put something out, I'm not interested. That's the game we play. Back in the day, it was like we used to hand out VHS tapes, ask them to take a look. We call back, hey, did you have opportunity to take a look at my video? No, I haven't watched it yet. Okay, I'll check back with you. Call back in 3 days if we get the nerve. Hey, Uncle Joe, did you watch my tape yet? No, Dale, I haven't got around to it yet. And we might call one more time, but we usually don't. And Uncle Joe knows if I just tell him I haven't watched it yet, eventually he'll quit calling and I don't have to mess with him. I used to tell people, look, the VCRs all around the country are stacked with network marketing VHS tapes stacked on top of them that were never followed up on. We got to get good at what we do. And you do that by coming from your soul and believing that what we have is not what everybody else has been doing. It's not, what we have has not been done in the United States ever, ever. The other thing, and see, I would go in and speak at these events, and I'm trying to follow somebody that says, you gotta, like I remember this one lady, she can, and I have to follow her. And all she talked about was we have to do a love bomb with people. We got to all hug each other, and they got to, we just got to love and care about them so much that they would never want to leave us. And then you got these other people getting up and they're talking about this is such an awesome part-time. You can do it whenever you want to do it. When you have a few hours, you can make hundreds of dollars a month and blah, blah, blah. No, you can't. No, you won't. And I've had to come up behind speakers and make that decision. What do I do? Do I tell them the truth, or do I just follow the guide here? And it's like, you can do this part-time, but man, you better have a full-time attitude about it. You gotta see, you don't build big dreams part-time or with a part-time mentality. Big dreams aren't built doing it when you get around to it, or hoping that you run into an old classmate at the post office. That's not how you do. It's intentional. Everything's intentional. This is when I build my business. This is what I do. This is my rhythm. This is my routine. I'm going to have to deal with a lot of thumb suckers, but every now and then somebody comes into your life that you can really impact. And I'm telling you guys, I cannot believe the people that are coming to this team. I just can't believe it. Will all of them stay? No. But man, they're going to remember the time they were here. And I just have it's almost supernatural. Maybe it is supernatural. I am so thankful for the people. I've met so many good people over the phone, and so many great people have joined us. And I think it's just starting. I'm trying to get to the main program, the main part. Just stay with me. And guys, you need to understand this. We've all seen this bell curve. This is the bell curve of any company product. It doesn't matter. Microsoft, every grocery store, every business goes through this. And the formulation stage lasts about 1 to 3 years. And that's when they're trying to get the systems in place, the procedures, all the ingredients and their products or whatever. But every business has a formulation stage. Obviously, that's where we are. And most businesses, especially in network marketing, do not last 3 years. They're gone. But some last 3 years. And if they can get from 3 years, and in that 3 to 5 year, that's really the sweet spot from momentum really starting. And during that 3 to 5 year period, sometimes it goes a little bit longer. But during that momentum stage, you'll have people that were making $1,000 a month, and it's just like almost overnight, it seems now they're at $10,000 a month, because the duplication starts to happen. In the beginning, it's all your efforts, your determination, you getting momentum on your team. And then it's about, how do I help my team members start to move and grow and duplicate their team. And then hopefully a business down the road will get to a point of stabilization. And that's in any business, not just in network marketing. And then to continue to have growth, then you have to introduce new products and get in front of new trends. That's just kind of the path. Most network marketing companies that start will never get past the 3 year period. Some do, and the ones that get to here, the only thing that can bring them down once they get out of that 5 year period here, the only thing that can bring a network marketing company down, the only thing, greed, ego. That's it. Greed and ego. That's it. I've watched it company after company over the last 40 years. When Sergi did the first event at Tina and Kelly's house in Arizona, is when Dawn's dad was going through his challenges, and I didn't want to leave. I shouldn't go. I want to stay here with her. But I told Curry Russell, I said, look, before you head over to Tina and Kelly's to meet him, I need you to call me. And he said, okay, sir, I'll do it. Curry knows how to talk to me. I love that guy. But anyway, he said, yes, sir, I'll do it. And he said, I'm getting ready to go out the door. You told me to call, sir. What can I do? I said, I need you to grab some stationery there at the hotel you're at. He said, yeah. I said, I want you to get out a pen. I want you to write down this note. And I want you to say, I so appreciate being here. The only thing that can stop this company is greed and ego. Don't let that happen. And sign my name to it. He doesn't know me from Adam. And Curry says, oh yeah, he knows you, Dale. You were the number one recruiter he doesn't know me from Adam. Just do that and give it to him. He said, I'll do it. And about an hour later, my phone rings. And there's some Russian person speaking English. Mr. Sergi would like to talk with you. So Felix is transferred to me, and I'm talking to him, Sergi through him. And here's what I know. He won't forget that note. I've done my part. And I've watched this guy. I sincerely believe, because he started in the field when he was 17 years old. I've watched him. I've watched how people react to him. I believe that when he says, I'm going to develop more millionaires than any company in history, he believes it. That's his goal. That's his dream. I really believe it. And most of the owners that I've talked to and worked with over the years, they feel like the distributors are a necessary evil. And all their only go is, what kind of promotion can we run to keep them on auto ship one more month? The concept of helping distributors develop their dreams is gone from this profession. It's over. Nobody talks about that anymore. Nobody. They talk about ridiculous, unrealistic things. It's easier to go after this and fulfill your dreams than it is to make $300 a month. So as this plays out, right here is where the millionaires are created. That's where they're created, right here. That's where you are. That's where we are. This is the first ground floor opportunity in America with a stable, proven company. It's never happened before. You cannot look at this as your prospects are, and you cannot let your prospects look at this through the glasses of a US startup company. That's not what we're doing here. They could do this, and maybe this might happen, and we have the potential to do that. Throw potential out the window, throw might happen out the window. It's already happened. It's already happened in 30 countries around the world. They've got 14 distribution warehouses to ship the product. It's already happened. It's already, well, Dale, Dale, I hope you do well with that. And I'll say, did you just really tell me what I think you told me? You hope I do well with this? How could I not do well with this? How could I possibly not do well with this? This thing's already happened. Don't you understand that? And I talk to my network marketing friends like that. I've got about 4 or 5 of them that they probably won't take my call right now. But you know what? They know I'm right. They know I'm right. And when their company goes out of business, it's going to be hard. They won't call me. I know that. But they might call one of you guys. And I'm cool with that. This is the email I got. And I'm going to explain this to you, how I get these every day. I try to review them. I used to do it once a week. Since APLGO, I'm trying to do it once a month. It takes a while. But at MLMhelp.com, which is our generic training, and some of you on this call, this is probably how we met at some point in the last 5 years. You filled out a form, you just filled out a survey, and it always helps me because I get input from people that are in the field, and it really makes it helps me understand, keep a pulse on what's going on. But I get this email, and this is what I'll always say: somebody just completed an MLM help questionnaire, and I took out the gentleman's information, and these are the questions, and I'm going to walk you through how I feel and when I'm looking at this, and how blown away I was with this experience. So, how much experience do you have in network marketing? He said 10 years plus. That's awesome. Most are 10 years plus, 2 years less. There's very few 4, 5, and 6 year people. What is the website you're sending leads to? I took it out. It was clean, classy, and he didn't have any spelling errors like I would. I mean, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful website. Beautiful, beautiful. What are your top 3 challenges you're facing in your MLM business? Check all that apply. And it's like fear of phone, fear of whatever. He had none of the my standard fears that people have. He had none of them. Most of the time, people have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Fear of failure, fear of what somebody else is going to think about them, etc. Then I get into detail in this questionnaire. I have a fear of using the telephone. Strongly disagree. I've been taught that social media is working, and working 100% online is the way to build my team. Disagree. The majority today in the last 3 years is correct. I have a challenge seeing myself wealthy. Disagree. I have a true belief in network marketing business model. I have a true belief in the network marketing business model. I don't have a true belief in the network marketing business model. Strongly disagree. So he has a true belief in network marketing. I joined because of the personal development. No, strongly disagree. He wants money. He wants to make money. I got involved with MLM because of family or friend. Disagree. I have a website I'm promoting. Yes, he does. I'm successful generating leads and make money. No, I'm not. I'm making money, but my downline isn't. Not true. I'm retailing product and recruiting every day. No, I'm not. So he's not making money. Usually they're making money, their downline isn't, if they've been around 10 years. That's usually what I see. Now, to me, I'm thinking this guy's awesome. He's awesome. Why in the world is he not progressing and moving forward? And then I ask, in your own words, please describe in detail your story, who you are, why you got involved with MLM. Honesty is appreciated, and I will keep it private and secure. That's why I didn't give you his name. Here's what he told me. I joined February 1994, moved my family across the country to build the business. I got involved because of, I can't see that, dreams. I think he didn't want a boss. He wanted to control his own time. It's blocked. I can't see it all, but y'all can read it. Never lost that dream to be free. So the dream to be free is probably what that said. I never lost that dream to be free, but I never made enough money to live independent of alarm clock. I see people all around exploding the business, but there is a key somewhere I'm missing. I've listened to audios, read every book for 26 years, attended hundreds of events, large and small, driven and flown tens of thousands of miles. I literally have made thousands of contacts and got phone numbers and emails from people over the years I've talked to or made presentations for, or done meetings for prior to COVID. How do I find leaders who are hungry to be free? I'm reading this, I'm thinking, just give me 6 of this guy. That's what I'm thinking. Give me 6 of this guy. I mean, honestly, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, my gracious. Because first of all, you got to figure out, are people willing to pay the price? Are they willing to go to work? And the other thing is, I know how compelling the dream to be free is. That's what drove me my first 5 years. I understand that. I mean, I'm thinking, what in the world? Then he said, I love this. He said, I have very little to show for all my thousands of hours of work except personal growth. I feel sorry for him that he has little to show for it, but he understands the value. The number one benefit of this business is, if you expand your comfort zone, the number one benefit is personal growth. It's the person you become. Then he says, I have no regrets. And I can't read the rest of it. I guess for the money and time invested. I'm just hungry to win. He reminded me of Alan. The first time I talked to Alan on the phone, I said, what do you want? He said, I just want to win. And I knew he meant it. I talked to you guys about that last week. He said, I'm not getting any younger. My awesome kids need to know that this works for real. I do not even know where to look for answers. I do not even know where to look for answers. I would be glad to have a phone chat, scheduled prior, not spontaneous. So let him know. I am blown away. I'm reading this because I've read thousands of these surveys over the last 5 years. I've never had any hit me like this. To me, he's the perfect student, action taker. He's been doing it since '94. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck is missing? And then the last question that I ask on this survey, what company are you with? Blew me away. Of all the companies, the more credible the company, the less of an opportunity exists with that company. There's no company that has less of an opportunity in the United States than Amway. And since 1994, he's been at it. I could not believe it. So, long story short, I realized then, see, here's what I know. Amway is the number one personal development culture ever in the history of this industry. But I know what they do. I understand that culture. That's the culture. We'll have it here. We'll have that culture here. So I sent him a response. I said, it's an honor to meet you. I've never had an email like this. I said, I'd love to get on the phone with you, but I want to ask you about 4 or 5 questions real quick. And I asked him a few questions, and one of them was, have you ever considered joining another company? Because here's what I know. It's going to, for him to leave Amway and go over here, it's like he's going to have to join another religion. Some of you remember when Zufelt came into New Image and trying to tell people that had learned wisdom of the ages for years, some of them, that you don't need goals. And so, and again, some of you have no idea what I'm talking about, but some of you do. And that's the shift that is going to have to happen. So I am hoping that he schedules a call with me, and I'm going to call him and I'm going to say, look, this is going to be one of the most interesting calls I've ever had. Would you mind if we record it? Because I really want people to, because if I can get him to switch religions, he's going to think he's in heaven. He'll think he's died and gone to heaven. With that work ethic and his background, his experience, he's going to think he's died and gone to heaven. I mean, my gracious goodness. So I just had to, but I could not see, he's trying to figure out what his problem is. And everybody on this webinar tonight knows exactly what his challenge has been. It's crazy. There's not one of you that didn't know as soon as you saw what company he's with. No wonder, because he's trying to build something that's been over for 35 years. It's already come and gone. It's already come and gone. And see, if people don't do the work, then they shouldn't expect success. But if you're willing to do the work and the stars lined up, the upside potential is unlimited. And see, there's people in the market like this guy. Everyone watching this webinar, you have unlimited income potential, unlimited, only because of where you are at this time and place in history. Now, 15 years from now, when it's on this side of the bell curve, it's going to depend upon what Sergi does to know what kind of opportunity a new person is looking at. But you know what? I think people can join companies that have been around 15, 20, 30 years. And if they got guts of steel and they're willing to grind it out and go for it, I think they can get to $90, $100, $120,000 a year, even with a 20-year-old company, which for many people is a lot more than they're making where they're at. But guys, when we're where we are, it's unlimited upside potential, unlimited. And we got to get real with this. When we're communicating with people and we're in the marketplace, don't let them treat us like Melaleuca. That's not what we're doing. Don't make the mistake. Don't accept what they say, because it's just not true. The facts are in our corner. So the last thing, I'm just going to end this up. How are you going to maximize it? See, because network marketing is the best opportunity in the world for average people with above average desire to create wealth. Period. End of story. There's a lot of other opportunities where you can make money, but if you want to create wealth and residual income, this is the place to be. But it's really the place to be when you're early with the company. The problem is when you're early with most companies, they're not going to be here in 3 years. That's the challenge. That challenge is not here with us. That challenge is not even a concern. This is a 9-year-old company, did $57 million last year. Thinking that we're like every other ground floor opportunity that's ever hit the United States is not right. So I just need you guys to be clear on this. And this opportunity is worthy of big dreams. Most aren't. See, I never dreamed any bigger in my network marketing career than my first 5 years with Shackley. That's the biggest I ever dreamed. I was tentative when I went into NSA. Tentative because of my Shackley experience. And I made $10,000 my first month with NSA, which was more than I ever made with Shackley after 5 years. I made $10,000 my first month and never made less. But I never dreamed with that company the way I did with my first one. And now I'm so much older and somewhat wiser, and we're here now. Some of you are older and wiser as well. So you can't treat it like you've treated any other program you've ever been involved with. You got to learn to dream again. That's my big, 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 big push tonight. You got to. And if you're ready, here's what I'm asking you to do. If anything I've said has made sense, if it's made sense, like Dale, you're right. This is unique. It's very unique. It's the most unique compensation plan opportunity I have seen in 40 years in this profession. Nothing even comes close. And again, there's a lot of things that play into this, but we got to get this clear in our mind. But if you're feeling, if you see it, if it makes sense, if you say, Dale, yeah, okay, I don't dream very good at all. I'm not a very good dreamer. I need to expand my vision. See, the reason I keep shooting my mouth off and telling you guys I'm going to help 500 people become six-figure earners and 10 millionaires is because I believe it. But it takes a lot of guts to say that. I get to fail in front of all of you. You understand? It takes a lot of guts to say that, but I believe it's possible. I sincerely do. But what's going to be what makes it possible is how many of you can have your dream big, because my success depends upon your success. So I wanted to give you these two podcasts. Listen to them back to back, because I've been on this for a while. MLMsuccess.com, it's story 218 and story 219. Listen to those. And I'm going to ask you guys to make a decision tonight. So before you make the decision, I'm asking you to listen to 218, 219, and the one that drops tomorrow. I don't know what the number is, but the name of it is Burn Your Bridge, and that will drop tomorrow. Listen to those three podcasts. Think about where you are. Think about where this company is going. And this is, and really think about it. I wanted to share this. I read this. Dave shared this. Everyone has their own approach. However, we must all be teaching the same curriculum. I explained it to a new distributor like this: modified based upon experience level. When you come into our industry with this team, you will have all the benefits of the experienced instructors. See, we got a ton of experienced people here. A ton. Who have to learn to dream bigger. Knowledge doesn't, we got to dream bigger. However, no one can do the work for you. Absolutely. Like anything else, you must crawl before you can stand, stand before you can walk, and so on. Give yourself 1 year. I love that from Dave. Give yourself 1 year. Follow the instructions provided, even if you think you can do it better, and watch how high you fly. 1 year. Mark Arnell said, too many systems create confusion. Find the full-time earner in your upline, plug into their systems. And I love this quote: don't have an original thought until you're at 10,000 a month. You can have original thoughts, and I appreciate your all's input. I do. I mean, I do. It really helps me. I need it. But if you go out and try to do it on your own, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. And in 5 years from now, I'll have your picture on the screen making fun of you. I will. You were here. You could have been here, but you had to go. You had to build your business going to meetup groups during COVID or whatever. And you had a better way to do this and a better way to do that. So, and you'll fail, and then I'll make fun of you. And that's the path. My battle cry from 1990 to 95 was, give me 1 year of your life it'll change everything. That was my battle cry. There's not an event I did when I didn't say that. And until this time and place in my life, I never had an opportunity where I could say that. I have it tonight. And so the thing that I'm saying tonight is, can you give us 1 year of your life? And it's going to take 5, 10, 15 hours a week doing the right things, getting in front of people, have to deal with a lot of rejection. But once your people, once they join, if they get plugged into this culture and D&D team training, they're going to know we got something they've not seen before. They're going to know. The right people know. So I want you to think about it. It's like, really think about it. Is it worth 1 year? Not 3, not 5, 1. Is it worth 1 year to get plugged in, let yourself dream again, and really go after this? And again, I'm asking you to make a decision after you've listened to those 3 podcasts, the 2 I showed you and the one that drops tomorrow. And if you can honestly tell yourself, I can give this 1 year, then I'm asking you to send me an email. I'm asking, Dale, I'm here for you. I give you 1 year. I'll give you 1 year. Because I'm still trying to figure out who I'm working with, guys. I really am. I'm just still trying to figure it out. I had to share this. I had a great conversation with this gentleman. He just joined us. And I don't know how many of you saw this on the Facebook page. This is who we're looking for. Y'all welcomed him like you all welcome everybody. You are phenomenal at that. I so appreciate that. But he said, thanks for the warm welcome, everyone. This is Tom Leonard. I'm very glad to be here at this place at this time in my life. It's right where I need to be. I look forward to being one of the 10 millionaires on stage with Dale. That's a lofty goal, but I've got the time and I'm trainable. I'm trainable. I'm willing to be taught. I'm willing to go to work. He was a traditional business owner, retired. We had a great conversation on the phone. And he just joined us like in the last 2 or 3 days. And I didn't know Tom. I've never met Tom. And I put this out here, guys, just to let you know there's people out here that are like this. I had this week conversations with 4 of the biggest derelicts that I've ever had conversations with through email. And all 4 of them, I just said, look, if you were the last person that could ever be sponsored on earth, and this was the last company, I would not allow you to be on our team. I do not want you. Do not email me ever again. I'm blocking you. I mean, you wouldn't believe the people that are 4 of them, like back to back, 2 of them. And I told Don, something's in the water today. This guy said, he's responding to promotion. He said, send me the link so I can join. I said, I don't send links so people can join. I need to know a little bit about you, your background. What about the APLGO opportunity appealed to you? Well, send me the marketing plan. That was the second thing. I sent him the comp plan, a couple of other videos. And I said, you should have already seen this on the website where you requested the information to begin with. And so I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but it's okay to just say, no, you're not here. You're not who we're looking for, because these type of people are out there. I think I have a young man tonight. I invited a young man. He's in his 30s, Mr. Cantu. There's good people, guys. So many good people that are sincerely looking. This is my second request. Here's what I need you to do. And I just use this as an example. This is Dr. Bowman. This was from our Facebook group. She sponsored, I think, last week. Yeah, she says last Monday was her first call. And she says, so grateful for this business, especially after our team call last week. I just joined last week, so I'm still in the launch process, but Dale was right. He shared with me the culture of this group. And see, that's what I do. I brag on you guys all the time. And he said, she said, I've been in this industry for a few years, but never truly had systems in place to be successful. I just finished my second day of 100 outreach this morning. I'm learning not to be emotionally attached to the results. I had a big pivot in my career last year due to COVID, and I have a 5-month-old son who is my why. I know the journey will be tough, but I'm ready to get to the top. Just joined us. That kind of proves my last point. But here's what I'm saying. This is what I need. I need you to get your cell phone out, and I need you to shoot me 2 real short videos. One is what you see in APLGO. My name is so-and-so. I'm from so-and-so, and I'm excited about APLGO because, write that down. My name is so-and-so. I'm from so-and-so. I'm excited about the APLGO business. I'm excited about the APLGO business because. The other one is I need why some of you have worked with me or worked with me in the past for years, and why is this team different? Why are we different? Why is what we teach different? Will it help you in other aspects of your life as a parent, grandparent? Wisdom of the ages, whatever you want to say. And because I need these for other websites that we're doing for specific niches. So the benefit to you guys is that they're sitting there and they're watching these testimonies and they see, oh, Shelly, Utah, that's the girl that's talking to me. So that's the value for you all. That it will help you from that standpoint. But again, I'm going to be asking you guys to do things that I've never asked, because together everybody achieves more. So we need different people from different walks of life and different backgrounds. And I see Mr. Farr here from, he's there from Australia. And I remember the first email I got from him. This was before APLGO, and his story. And Martin Farr can touch people that I'll never touch, and so on and so forth. I told Curry today, we were talking, and I said, the stories that are going to come out of this team is going to blow everybody away, because we are developing focused lead generation, leadership development ninjas. And they're going to come in all sizes, shapes, backgrounds, and very few of them are going to be 3%ers. It's going to be 27%ers that got plugged in, internalized, went to work, changed their life. And I feel it coming. And he says, well, I want to do that. I said, you got to listen better, my friend. No, I love him, and he knows I love him, and he knows I'm telling him the truth. And again, he's only been around this industry 7 years. I feel like I feel like I'm getting myself in deep. So let me just go a little bit deeper. Some of you were there. You will remember. You will remember after an event, in our suite, there was probably 30. I know Doug and Muriel were there. Kamisha was there. Some of you were there. I didn't know Curry that well. And we're sitting down, and we had around that table, a very heated discussion. People were scared. They thought we were going to come to blows. They really did. Because I said, Curry, just shut up. You don't know this team. They don't believe in that crap. And you just need to shut up and shut up now. This has nothing to do with creating a social media following by doing videos online, acting like something you're not. And it was, I mean, it was more heated than that. Some of you were there. And we've been best buddies ever since. I mean, we understand each other. And eventually he's going to figure it out. He will figure it out. So you guys, I want you to be able to look, Dale, and look, it was, remember, I had just started. I hadn't done anything, and I made that video. And I can't wait for you. You got to take my video off of there. I was terrible then. I was terrible. You need to take my video. And I'll say, I'll be happy to. Make me another one. We'll replace it. So I'm asking you guys this week, sometime, shoot a couple of videos on your phone. What's it like being on this team? And then what do you see in APLGO? And send them to me. I don't care. You can do both or one, whatever. But I'm asking everybody to at least do one for me. And if you should be doing both, do both. If you're brand new, you figure it out, whatever you think. Need to let you guys know about this. The 90-day run that you guys, many of you are doing at 7 o'clock on Eastern, the 90-day run outreach program that you guys are doing. We're going to start one during the day. Probably be at I think Kamisha's going to head that up. She'll be getting you guys more information on it. The website will be CMG Outreach Zoom. And I think we decided we're going to do this at noon daily, and we'll have more and more information, but Commission's going to head that up. I know she's already talked to some of you guys about it. I think that this is one of the smartest ideas I have seen ever in the history of network marketing, based upon where the profession is today. And I'm so excited that Curry and Julia started doing those. And I just think it's a genius idea. My understanding is they're just going to keep on doing them. And then we'll start this one around noon on probably just on weekdays. And then we might have one at 9 o'clock Mountain Time, because we have people all over the world. And then down the road, we might add another one, and then another one, and then another one. And then once we have 6 or 7 of these going, I talked to Ashley Dick about this today, is you know that in 3 years or whenever this happens, that anybody on your team can go to CMG Outreach Zoom at any time. And we're open 24/7, 7 days a week, all the time. That's where we'll go to down the road. So I wanted to let you know and just give a shout out to Kamisha. It was her idea to start one in the day. She said she would take care of that. So I appreciate it. Let me know about CMG Book Club, guys. What do y'all think about that? If you can help with that or have any ideas, let us know that. The last thing I just want to say is, can you give it a year? Make a quality decision. Jim Rohn says character is doing what you would say you would do after the feeling in which you set it in has left you. And there'll be days you don't feel like doing it. It's going to be, there will be. But what determines whether you can get in a consistent routine? Your dream, your picture. Every night. And now it's like several times during the day, I have flashes. But every night, I'm at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm looking out and I'm seeing different ones of you guys every night. And it's just getting so real. And see, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. And I've talked to Dawn about this. It's like, you know, Earl Nightingale in The Strangest Secret says, when you decide specifically exactly what you want, then you start attracting the people, places, and circumstances to make that vision a reality. And literally, guys, in the last 30 days, I have talked to more quality people in the last 30 days than I have in any year period in my network marketing career. And that's the truth. I don't know what's going to come from it, but I mean, I'm not talking about experienced network marketing leaders. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about solid people who have strong reasons. They understand they're going to have to develop some skill sets, mindsets. They appear like they're willing to go to work. I've talked to more people like that in the last 30 days than I have in any 1 year period in my entire network marketing career. So they're coming. They're coming. I knew all the leaders would eventually come, but I mean, there's great people coming. And so I'm going to shut up because I'm a little bit overexcited tonight. I hope this has helped you guys. I hope I've gotten through to you. There's just wisdom of the ages principles. If you put them into action, you can expect success, especially if, and really only when, the stars have lined up. And you guys just have to know that the stars have lined up. And we're going to end. Should I take questions? If y'all have any comments or questions, we'll take a few. I don't have any idea how long I've been talking. I don't have any idea what time it is.